Is DataAnnotation.tech one of the best online side hustles, or is it really just a massive scam? It's Worms World here, and in this video I'll be looking at the reasons that so many people believe DataAnnotation.tech is a scam. A quick search online reveals hundreds, maybe thousands of negative reviews and comments, with many labelling the site as a scam. The reasons these reviews and comments give for the website being a scam vary greatly, with some stating the website stole money from them. Others indicate it's a scam as they never got assigned any projects. Some people claim the website is just harvesting personal info, as they sign up and fill in all their details to then be given no work. And you don't have to look far to find dozens of reviews and comments stating that they had their accounts closed or tasks removed for no reason. Of course, none of this is helped by the fact their support to workers is close to non-existent, and if you've ever had a reply back from DataAnnotation.tech, you're one of the lucky few. I'd just like to make it clear that anything said in this video is from what I have found online, and my own personal opinion. I am not associated with DataAnnotation.tech other than being an independent contractor completing task-based work for about half a year so far. From what I've seen, a lot of these issues can really be pinpointed down to DataAnnotation.tech's dreadful worker support. So many of these problems could have been avoided if they were to send an email out letting people know if they had failed the starter assessment. Also, as it's not clear how long to wait before potentially being accepted, there's just so many people who are left in limbo, unsure on if they'll receive work or if they've just had their personal data stolen. If any of you are in this situation, then I wouldn't worry about your personal data. I applied over 6 months ago and haven't had any issues. And with not being assigned any tasks or hearing back about your starter assessment, unfortunately, if it's been over 2 weeks, I suspect you haven't been accepted. I know there has been cases of people who've been accepted after waiting months, but these are not the norm. Also, if you have been successful in your starter assessment and accepted to work on the site, you should receive an email like this letting you know. Again, DataAnnotation.tech do not send an email if you don't pass. I know this is annoying, and you also won't be able to know what part of the assessment you failed on or why you weren't accepted. This is frustrating, but that's just the way it is at the moment, unfortunately. With regards to people claiming they had their money stolen by the site, I think there's a few different reasons people have claimed this, but the most common one is people get totally locked out of the website's dashboard, which means they can't access the transfer funds page to withdraw whatever money they may have earned on their account that they haven't withdrawn yet. I've seen on Reddit before that if you get locked out of your dashboard, you must have violated the site's code of conduct, which could be things like inflating your time logged, letting other people work on your account, having multiple accounts, and publishing project info anywhere. I've also read about people getting locked out of their account from working in countries the website doesn't accept workers from. The specific worker I read about was using a VPN to pretend to be in another country. Now, I don't want to come across like I'm defending DataAnnotation.tech. This is just from the things I've read online, and there's no way for us to truly know whether the people making these claims were really kicked for no reason, or if they actually did violate the site's code of conduct. But I will say that a lot of the people I've seen claiming they've been randomly locked out of the dash do extremely high hours. Some do 10 plus hours a day, every day. And I know it varies based on how good people's concentration levels are, but in my personal experience, and I'm sure it would be the same for a lot of other people, when you're getting into those last few hours, your quality of work will drop, and the speed at which you're completing the tasks will slow down. Also, when doing say 11 or 12 hours a day, there's just less hours in the day left to take breaks, and the work is mentally draining. The most I've ever managed to do in one day is 7.5 hours, and my brain was mush after that. And it was on a weekend when I had nothing else going on. You've got to remember as well, unlike at a typical 9 to 5 job, on DataAnnotation.tech you aren't being paid for any downtime. Whereas at a 9 to 5, you've got all your toilet breaks, meetings, casual chats with colleagues, work might slow down for a bit so you don't have to do much for a few hours, At a typical 9 to 5, you're still getting paid for this time even though you aren't really working or concentrating. Whereas at DataAnnotation.tech, you can't add time for things like that. For the people doing these massive hours as well, you would assume it's their only job. So when they do lose access to tasks, they've got no job, which is obviously going to be extremely difficult for them. And they will be more annoyed. Which might be why they are complaining more online, and we just aren't seeing as many people who only did a few hours a week complaining, as it's not inconvenienced them as much when they lose access to their tasks. Again, this is why I always say don't rely on DataAnnotation.tech as your only source of income, as they can let you go at any time for any or no reason. So to reduce your chances of being locked out of the site, ensure you're following DataAnnotation.tech's code of conduct and logging your times correctly. The next reason I see people claiming the site is a scam for is fairly similar to the last point, and it's all projects being removed from someone's dashboard and never being assigned any projects again. One of the main issues with this, and my previous point, is again due to the lack of communication from DataAnnotation.tech. As it seems, for the majority of workers, they never received an email letting them know they can no longer work on the site, and instead, the workers left to figure it out for themselves. Then, when they do realise they've been let go, they're left wondering what it was they did wrong. It definitely is not a great way to treat workers. In this case, I again think a simple email, which could easily be automated, would be really beneficial to both the workers and to the company. Also, implementing a system where the worker was given a warning first could help, but I think DataAnnotation.tech wouldn't want to do this, as they don't have back and forth with thousands of workers on what they're doing wrong. Some of the conspiracy theories I've seen on Reddit about why people get kicked claim that DataAnnotation.tech don't want experienced workers, and that if you've been working for more than a few months, they will kick you from the site. But to me, this doesn't make any sense, as it's the more experienced workers who are going to understand the projects better, and some projects also have higher paying tasks that are more complicated and become available when workers have worked on the base level projects at a high level of work for a while. So I think it's more likely that for people who've been working for a longer time, there's more work that you could have made mistakes on, leading to you losing access to the projects. Again, all of this is just based on my personal experience, opinions, and what I've read online. And I've actually found, for me, the website has been great. The only small issue I've had was towards the start. I would have liked more clarification on if I was completing the tasks correctly. But other than that, I've been able to consistently earn money at what I think is a competitive rate, and I'm now at over $7,000 earned, as you can see in the top right. And just last week, I had a pay rise on my highest paying project. I encourage you to share your own thoughts and experiences in the comments. And if you'd like to really understand the earning potential of this site and haven't been kicked from it for no reason yet, then check out my previous video where I do a full day's work on the site and show just how much I earned.